Welcome, Sagittarius. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot getting ready to do your summer solstice reading. The summer solstice is on the 20th of this month, and it marks a time when we need to be patient with ourselves. After so much rapid movement and changes that we have been exposed to, introduced, or have manifested in the beginning of the year, now is the time for us to be still with the changes we're experiencing, to check in with our bodies, our emotions, to make sure that we're aligned in a way that satisfies us, inspires us, that is in alignment with our values, and also allows us to recognize that we are experiencing a level of vibration that many of us have never experienced before. And so the feeling of being disassociated or unfamiliar or not knowing what you're experiencing at every moment, even a sense of floating, is uh, part of the process, and one which you owe yourself the time and the grace, the patience to experience. So, Sagittarius, I'm reminding you that this is a general reading. If you're interested in a personal reading, the information for that is in the description box below. Your overall energy, Sagittarius, the Seven of Pentacles. I'm sensing this card to represent something like a plateau that you're experiencing because you are intentionally standing still and in a process of continuous evaluation of the investments you've made in yourself, in a project, and the rewards that you have received with a sense of dissatisfaction. You would like to maximize your rewards. You would like to uh, scrutinize your investments in a way that helps you to identify why you're experiencing less progress than you would like. The sense of stuckness, the sense of needing to stop things, slow things down so that you can tweak and figure out where this isn't working for you. This is also a place, as I just mentioned, where there is a degree of faith and patience that is required. If you're making moves that you feel are in alignment with you, if you are addressing those opportunities and taking responsibility for your choices, there is a timeline that is unfamiliar to many of us where things may seem to be going nowhere. They may even seem to be moving backwards. But actually, if you have structured your process well, you will be experiencing the movement in time. You are sure that you're on your path. There's no question in your mind about that. You're really trying to do the work necessary to get to that place of progress, of forward motion. In the 10th house, the house of your social identity, the way others see you, the Five of Cups is about the ongoing experience of releasing some painful emotions regarding failures, disappointments, unsuccessful experiences of opportunities, things that you glimpsed as being for you, but that turned out to be not for you, to not address your needs, to perhaps not even see your needs as being relevant. You have been rejected. You've experienced rejection in a way that has caused you to overly ponder on the sad feelings, the remorse, the regret, when actually, similarly to the Seven of Pentacles, you are actually in a position of high connectivity with your higher self. If you're evaluating these failures, these opportunities lost, you are indeed on the path of knowing yourself better, understanding your needs and desires better, and putting yourself in a place of deeper, higher connection. In the first house, this is your perspective. You have the Three of Cups, describing the tremendous support that is all around you in almost every aspect of your life. In fact, it feels as though your efforts at evaluating what is and may not be working is in tandem with a community, within a community that supports your needs and whose needs you support. And that kind of intimate support and reciprocity is tremendously supportive, is yielding this ability to feel comfortable and safe, which is no mean feat, I think, for a Sagittarian, those of you that are always on the go, and the idea of exploring, sharing feelings of vulnerability, experiences of overcoming difficulties can be hard, but at this time it feels like a celebration. You understand and value how really special this is. In the fourth house, the house of your home, your family, your support, or your roots, the Devil card is indicating your commitment to really realigning yourself and taking responsibility for your reality. This is you totally purging the impulse to blame others for any experience of reality that you don't like, any failure or incompletion, any disappointment or lack of success. You are taking full ownership of that. That can include everything, how it visits your home, how it impacts upon your workplace for those of you that do work at home, how negative habits, negative self talk, uh, continually expecting yourself to be all powerful, all knowing, and able to take care of others is something that you are interrogating. You're understanding that your job is to make you a success. Your job is to align yourself with your desires and needs. And to the extent that you can support others, you are more than happy to do so, but it must be on your own terms. You must not be sacrificing your dreams and desires for others. In the seventh house, the house of your significant relationships, we have the Six of Pentacles. And this is really about really managing all your exchanges of energy. And I'm sure those of you that visit me regularly have heard this. But this is where this desire to take care of others has gotten you sick, has gotten you sad, has foisted this burden, encouraged you to carry the burden of others' responsibilities and obligations in a way that is not healthy, has relegated you to being outside of relationships, managing them rather than inside of your relationships, experiencing the exchange of love and resources, so that you are trying very hard to make room for yourself, not in the old way of being in control of everything, of taking responsibility for every aspect of the experience of your home or your community, your job. Instead, you're learning to step back and make sure that everything you do, there is an exchange, an equitable exchange. It's not about equality, it's about equity, where you give from your strength and you receive those things that you're not strong in. You allow others to love you. And this is important because there's a thread here of allowing intimacy, opening your heart, feeling safe to do so. And the safety that you may now be experiencing is new to you. I'm going to pull an oracle card, Sag. If this reading is resonating for you, please like this video. Please share this with others. Comment if you feel so moved. And subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. I pulled Death. I am learning that endings are merely beginnings. And that's part of the bodily fears that many of us may be holding on to at this time, that the summer solstice is actually a window to flush. Sounds a little too graphic, but that's really what I'm feeling, to flush out these old habits of control, needing control because you're afraid of what's going to happen if you let go. You don't trust anyone else, or you don't trust the world to be good back, to give you back what you need. And this is part of this experience of death. Releasing that need to be in control is really driving the change in the ability to sit within yourself and let yourself experience something very new for you. I love this. And although I have to say the idea of us being still in a body during a time of so much change is uncomfortable, I'm enjoying it and tracking the experiences of not knowing, unfamiliarity, knowing that if I am uncomfortable, I might be doing something differently than I've done in the past. And that's the whole point. And I pulled Bird Bath. Cleanse your dusty wings so you can fly more freely. I think that's what I was talking about. So in the first house, the Three of Cups is clarified by the Seven of Swords in the second house and the King of Pentacles in the third house. Part of letting go of the need to control is you're understanding the way in which you have allowed others to control your efforts. There's a way in which you received criticism or internalized in criticism or negative feedback as blocking, as debilitating, as taking the wind out of your sails. And you're now in a position of understanding that resistance to your ideas, resistance to your flow is to be expected. Everyone is not going to be in alignment with us, and that doesn't mean that our idea or our path is valueless, is not worthwhile. But this is something you've had to learn because you've had to prize your loved ones, your family members who have been many times the agents of this kind of sabotage, the feeding into the self-doubt, the second-guessing yourself. And prizing that apart from loved ones has been part of the difficulty in recognizing that you don't have to listen to what others who don't see your vision see, who are bold enough to tell you that something maybe they've never done or never attempted is not best for you, as if they could know. Or perhaps because they fear your success will move you away from the sphere of your control, your management, your caretaking. All of this is wrapped up in your desire to be productive, to be efficient, to be successful. And that is hooked up for you with being generous. So I see quite a tangle of emotions and pattern that makes it convenient for you to feel in control. However, that mastery of your skill is different from control of your environment. And I do feel that for many of you Sagittarius, that is where the learning and growth is occurring for you. You can be a master at what you do well, a master at your gifts and talents, and that no longer requires you to take care of others. because you may be on the verge of some success, or to put what you desire aside so that others can prosper. This is wrapped up. Could be a whole hour's conversation. However, the devil in the fourth house is clarified by the Two of Wands in the fifth house and the High Priestess in the sixth house. Yeah, there is this thing where you know what you're good at. You know your talents. You know where you are a master, mistress, an expert in some way. You are moving towards the top of your game. However, there is some guilt you may feel as a result of that. Even if there aren't material rewards that you can show off as evidence of your mastery, you still know it exists. You still know that's who you are. That is your core, that is your heart. But you are looking at and contemplating ways in which you can make yourself of service to a new environment, a new territory, a new audience. You can grow. You're forcing yourself to accept this challenge. And the High Priestess here in the sixth house is saying that you've done this before. You've been here before in this life, undoubtedly. You've been here before, and my bet is that you stopped, you left, you quit before the challenge got really dug in, before there was an overt conflict. You just bowed out because that was easier. However, now you're aware of how many times you've been down this road, how many times you have seen the conflict. You have a level of wisdom and knowledge that others do not always have. And that wisdom and knowledge is something that you are now understanding is needed. What you know needs to be shared. And that's part of the modeling that you're doing in your communication. You're now saying the things that need to be said, even if it is your truth. It is a model, it is a template for the possibilities that can be productive in a situation that looks stagnant, that looks blocked, that looks resisted. You know the way through. And this falls back on your intuition, your wisdom, really digging in with that stillness to those experiences of mastery. In the seventh house, the Six of Pentacles is clarified by the Knight of Pentacles in the eighth house and the Temperance card in the ninth house. You are planning. You're really planning the way in which you are devising your relationships. And this absolutely has to do with business, work, a project, something that you're building. It could well be a home business, but it can be any business in which naturally we must collaborate and receive help from others. You are still in the process of visioning what could be possible. You have a history of successes, although you're focused on the things that haven't worked. And the things that have worked are equally as numerous and as available to you. And that's what the wisdom of the High Priestess is asking you to call on, the successes. Even if you didn't stay in a job, as an example, doesn't mean that you didn't have a successful impact while you were there. In fact, I bet you've made any position, any environment better with your interaction, with your participation. And understanding that means that you can now be patient with yourself as you devise a goal that's just for you, that expresses you, that is the pursuit of a dream you've long held. And you understand now that it is about patience. It is about that continuous, consistent effort and showing up that is leading to the excess. It's leading to the success that you're experiencing right now. And that success is tremendous change and clarity about what is needed. What is the cost of success? Well, there's resistance. There's people that don't like you. There are people that are envious. Are those things important to you? Really? The Five of Cups in the 10th house is clarified by the Queen of Pentacles, and now we have a King and Queen of Pentacles on the table and the Ace of Cups in the 12th house. Wow. Okay, Sagittarius, so it's starting to look to me like you have all the building blocks for a very productive partnership. This partnership feels business focused, but it is based on the heart. It is based on real love. It is based on the self-healing that you have been experiencing for some time. The self-love that allows you to relax in your conditions, to accept that you are where you're supposed to be, that you have what you need, and that your ability to articulate your needs and desires perhaps has been the missing piece in your relationships, in your success. Articulating your goals, because it's already established that you can work. You have the work ethic, the consistency, the perseverance, the vision, the connections to community, the support from loved ones necessary. This is stunning. And I'm going to finish off this reading, Sagittarius, with a yogic path oracle from Sahara Rose. And I'm hoping that this reading is going to be helpful to you. And I pulled Anahata. And I want to say that that's the heart chakra. I'm sorry if I'm not exactly sure, but I will consult the guidebook and we'll find out for sure. So Anahata is the heart chakra. Yay! Your heart has opened its chambers to new possibilities, and the light is coming through to soothe its once dark corners. This love heals all and allows you to see all people for their greatest potential, including yourself. By putting down your armor, you are truly able to use the intelligence of your heart, which will always guide you in the right direction. Trust the journey of the heart. It may not always make sense to the mind, but it is aware of possibilities the mind cannot yet envision. When you truly live a heart-centered life, there's nothing left to fear. Meditate on the color green and practice heart-opening yoga poses to aid the journey. Thank you so much, Sagittarius, for this beautiful reading. Until next time, Namaste.